This is Blythe Baines, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
It is now April 28th. What time do we have here? 12:29 a.m. All right, so the 27th we arrived. Yachtley Crew arrived in Pennsylvania. We were in Philadelphia, actually. In the town of Philadelphia. In the town of Philadelphia. It's a very, very artistic town. These streets, man, I took a whole bunch of photos of this awesome street art that was down this alley. I remember we first drove past this alley, and it just so happened to be right near the place where everybody wanted to go eat. And this alley, I just kept looking at it going, man, this has such production value. And then Kian, our lighting technician, he says, what do you mean production value? And I said, well, like for shooting movies, for shooting experimental films. And the place those guys went to is a Philly cheesesteak place, but it was cash only. So I said, well, I'm going to go over here eat at this Mexican food place. So while I was over there, before I went over there? No. Okay, I got you. Here we go. I just need to get this straight in my own mind. You know, I need you to take you on the journey with me. By the way, thank you for listening to Inspirado Projecto. Yachtley Crew is the band I'm talking about. Yacht Rock, the Interdimensions favorite yacht rock band. Having said that, we are the world's most humble yacht rock band. You will not meet another humble. Nobody is more humble than Yachtley Crew. Nobody. We beat the competition on humility. All right? We smash it on humility. We are the utmost humble yacht rock band. That's better than all the competition combined. Better than all the competition combined. And our little pinky fingers in the tiny minuscule what do they call them? Planks, way beyond the subatomic particles. Right there in the planks. We are by far in one of our tiniest subatomic planks more humble in that tiny plank than an entire nation of other yacht rock bands who are trying to be more humble than us. We beat them all every time, 100% of the time. So I'm out here with these guys, and during the day, they went to this Johnny's Steak House, I think it was. Yeah, Philly cheesesteak. While they were there, I went to this Mexican food place. I had 3 tacos. I got to talking with the guys behind the counter and everything, and it was funny. This guy came walking in. They yelled his name, and I go, "Oh wow, this is great. It's like Cheers. You know, everybody knows your name. Do you go in here a lot?" And I talked to him. He's like, "Oh yeah." And I said, "Wow, that's great. Everybody knows your name." And so I ordered these tacos. I ordered a root beer. I haven't had a root beer in a long time. By the way, if you've never had it, I suggest it's called the Black Cow. We grew up calling it the Black Cow. I didn't find out till later it's called the root beer float. So you've got to try ice cream with root beer. Ooh, it is dynamite, out of sight. So for this story, I had root beer in a can. I was eating these tacos, and before I ate tacos, I talked to the guy behind the counter, and I was telling him about Yachtley Crew. We're coming out. We're in Philadelphia. We're going to be playing, I think, Ardmore Stadium or something. And then, and he's like, "Oh, do you guys have original music too?" And I go, "Actually, we do. We got a new song. It's called Sex on the Beach by Yachtley Crew. We got on iTunes, Spotify." He goes, "Hey, I'll play it for you while you eat. You can eat your food to your own song." And I said, "That is fantastic." So he did that for me. Actually, I should probably post this. Wow. Wow, that was so cool that he put that song up there. That was great. And there were a couple of ladies who went in there who were getting tacos, and they were subdued to the Sex on the Beach song. Dude, I just imagine these guys continually playing it. Oh, man. Now that they know about it, they'll start going, oh, what is this all about? Oh, my gosh. I airdropped. There's a picture of the new Sex on the Beach single. And it looks like a subway poster on a subway, and it's like the poster like in the in like the little holder, Sex on the Beach. And so when I was on the subway to go hang out with Darla Day, by the way, I will release that interview. I got one. Oh my gosh, she just very dynamic entity. I hung out with Darla Day, and I'm going to release those interviews and that time we hung out together, because that's magical in its own right. Lots of synchronicities flowed, lots of just experimental, just video, just okay, let's do it. So on the way to go see her, I had AirDrop on. I was AirDropping this, and I tell you, out of like 40 people, probably 5, 6, 7 maybe, just took it, where they lots declined it, or it failed or whatever, but that there are those who downloaded it and they liked it. And it was the poster that was on a subway. That's what the JPEG looks like. And so I thought, wow, wouldn't that be funny if I send this to them and it looks like I took a picture of it on the wall. And so they'll be thinking it's right there on the subway. So it subliminally implants this thing in their brain, so that now when they're on the train cars, they'll be looking for that. Which, now that I think about that, I think what I'll have to do is figure out how to get the dimensions. I'll go on there with the tape measure next time, get the dimensions of where they put those posters, go in there, maybe get myself one of those yellow vests. I think I talked about this already. One of those reflective yellow vests, make like a hat, something special, makes it looks like I'm official. And I put the Sex on the Beach poster right there into the subway. And I get someone to record me doing it. I'll have Darla record me doing it. Oh my gosh. This would be fun. Wow. So I was airdropping the whole time at the airport before coming out to Pennsylvania. I would say there are at least 25 people, because I was doing it all over the airport. I was doing it, that same picture, all over the airport. While getting on the plane, I mean, oh my God, it's like, here, fishy, let me just throw the line out, throw out the bait. I'm just throwing it. Here's an opportunity. Feeding the ducks. Here you go. You can eat the bread. You don't have to. Birdseed here. You can have the birdseed. You don't have to. Something delicious, something nutritious. You'll enjoy it, and it's great, because those who bite, those who go yum yum, now they were curious. Those are the kinds of people I want to have at the shows. People who are curious about what's going on. The people who are going to see beyond the surface. The people who are going to really dive deep into the show. The show is layered. It's an interesting layered thing, because there's dancing, there's all kinds of stuff going on stage at all times. It's just an energetic powerhouse. I mean, it's like you wind us up and off it goes. It's like we're one of those like Jack in the Boxes, but like, I'm getting the image of like the music box. You spin it, it's like ring, gong, gong, ring, gong, gong, and it goes around like a merry-go-round. That's kind of like what it's like. So I was airdropping it like crazy. Go on the airport, oh my God. And on the plane, everybody's sitting there. They're stuck with you. They see us coming through, and they see, and I'm behind all of our guys as they're going on. I'm walking behind them. So they already saw some of the guys wearing Yachtley Crew shirts and stuff and hats and everything. So when I drop this airdrop, they're going, oh, what's that all about? So they're putting question marks in their brains. Wow. Question marks in their brains. So yeah, it was just so much fun. Man, hanging out. So while they went off to they ended up going off to the Liberty Bell. I went back to the van where Chris happened to be hanging out at the land yacht. And I said, I'm going to run around and get some footage. And we just so happened to be parked next to that alleyway after we flew out here. And by the way, after getting off the plane too, I was airdropping too. Oh, so much fun. So, and I made these trading cards. All right, I made trading cards. They are I invented this, the airdrop trading card. Collect them all. And there's one card of each of us in our superhero costumes, so to speak. And oh my gosh, yeah. I'm gonna send these off to my friends. I'm gonna ask them to airdrop too, wherever they're at. Oh my God, this would be crazy. Whoa, dude. Wow, the gears are turning, blipping and blooping. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to give all the cards to all the guys, but they gotta make it. They gotta just say that we gotta make a vow that they are not gonna share them. They are not going to put them on social media. Do not put them on social media, because that defeats the purpose. We'll just tell them, check your airdrops. Wow, so cool. And they don't know how many there are. I can make one of Taylor. I can make one of Kyle Collada. Oh, Admiral T. Kyle Collada. Starbird. Keon. Dusty. Robin. Chris. Eric. You know, people will be like, what are the other ones to collect? How many are there? Because I'm not putting numbers on there. 1 of 25, or maybe I just put some arbitrary number on there. Ooh, that would be great. The next batch I do, it'll be like, collect all 25. Collect all 25. Wow, that's fun. That is fun. Wow, that's cool. Then maybe I put out a thing of like, who wants to be a card? Who wants to be one of the collectibles? Wow. That would be fun. That would be fun. So I ran around these alleys. I took a lot of photos. I put them up on the Instagram page. Inspirado Projecto. So if you're on Inspirado Projecto, I'm just reminiscing here. Thank you for reminiscing with me on Inspirado Projecto. Ran around through these alleys. Whoa. Took lots of photos, uploaded them. I made a video on TikTok that's on the Inspirado Projecto TikTok. Also uploaded it to the story on Instagram. Which is fun because my Instagram friends end up finding me on TikTok because you can see the little watermark on there. That's one of the good things about putting your TikTok your TikToks on it, your stories on Instagram, because if you have friends who also have TikTok, they find you, and it's got the watermark. And I know programs that you can use to download TikTok and it takes away the watermark. So if you want to learn more, email me, inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com. Also, if you like to airdrop, email me at inspiradoprojecto.com. All right, because then, and if you promise and you solemnly swear that you will not you promise that you will not share this on any social media, I will send you one of the digital cards, and you can airdrop it while you're out there. That's weird. I feel like a So, yeah, I will send one to you. If you like to airdrop, and what I would suggest is change your phone's name. This is what I do. I change my phone name to Yachtley Crew. You could, for those times when you airdrop the Yachtley Crew card, you know what? I'll tell you what. I tell you what. If you want to airdrop, this is what we'll do. We'll do a multi-step process. If you want to airdrop, choose whichever card you want. As far as you know, there are 7 of us. All right, 7 of us. So pick one of the 7 Yachtley Crew guys. Or you can just go random, and I'll send you one of my choosing. And I'm gonna go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, the fairway. Catch a tiger by his toe, so on and so forth. If he hollers, let him go. E-I-E-I-O. I will send you one. And when you airdrop it, what I'd love for you to do, this is what will, quote, earn you another card. Send me 3 different screenshots of you screenshotting that card. All right? Just 3 instances where I see you, bam, 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 bam. You've highlighted all the people on there. You've airdropped the card. And by the way, you got to turn on the Bluetooth. I think the wireless and your cellular. Turn it all on. And then it shows you in a radius, like 20, 30 foot radius, where are these people? And you just pick each one. I just choose as many as possible and I go send. Like bubbles. Oh my gosh, it's great. So if you take 3 screenshots, email me 3 screenshots all at once. No, let's be fair. Let's do it like the Fibonacci sequence. Let's do this. We're changing gears. Send me 1 screenshot. And Scout's Honor, you got to promise it's the Yachtley Crew guy, all right? Trading card. You Scout's Honor, it's got to be that one. And you're airdropping it. Take a screenshot of you doing that. Email it to Inspirado Projecto, and then guess what? Email that along with the name of the next Yachtley Crew member that you would like in your trading card collection that you're going to be airdropping. So this way, this way I know that you're going to be airdropping them. Then for the second one, you have to send me 2 screenshots, completely different locations, or at least a whole bunch of different names, so I know. No cheating. Scout's Honor, you are not allowed to use friend screenshots of stuff or whatever, your own screenshot, but 2 of them. All right, so just like the Fibonacci sequence. 1, 2, guess what we're going to go to next? 3, that's right. So you send me 2 screenshots. That's where you get the second card. And I'll tell you what. How's about this? The next one after 3, you'll have to send me 5 screenshots. Not one at a time, all at once. But you got to save them up, of you sending those. So let's see, we just keep going like this until you collect them all. Now you don't have to send me any screenshots at all. Does that sound fair? Sounds like a fun project to me. So email me, inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com, if you would like to take on that kind of fun. Because you know what? If you're in Europe, you're over there in Czechoslovakia, you're over there in Florida, you're listening to me in Iceland, you're listening to me in Switzerland, you're listening to me in the Baltics. I would get such a kick out of knowing that you were airdropping Yachtley Crew in all of those countries. Just imagine. So we can start the fire. We can start the fire. We just airdrop Yachtley Crew trading cards. we can start the fire. We can send them on and on and on. Stony Shores, Polly Shores, Tommy Bowie, Baba Bowie, Philly Ocean, Sailor Hawkins, Matthew McDonald, Baba Bowie, Stony Shores, Polly Shores, Philly Ocean, Sailor Hawkins, Baba Bowie, Matthew McDonald. We can start the fire. We can get it burning. Oh, you will get it turning. We'll get the fire started. And we'll send them on and on and on. Airdropping Yachtley Crew, trading cards on the bus, on the subway, or walking down the street. While you're at the dinner table in a restaurant, standing in the bathroom or standing in line, at your favorite restaurant or at the airport, or while you're at a Kiss concert, you can airdrop those Yachtley Crew trading cards. Everyone will love it, I promise you. We can start the fire. We can do it. Yeah, I know you can do it. That's the power of love, baby. That's the power right there. So, yeah, I made TikTok video, and this is interesting. This is very, 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 very interesting. I'm going to give you this little synchronicity here. Okay. First of all, do you know on TikTok how if there's a sound in a video, if you click on the sound, it'll take you to the original video, the very original video. If you go to TikTok right now and you look up my video of me walking down the street and you hear like boom, and it's the murals, look at the original video of that, and it looks like a Rube Goldberg machine of these like marbles, like firing out of cannons and go and they're bouncing off of strings, bing, 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 and then you see it. It's really cool. And then all of a sudden, out come drums and cymbals, and it's like, whoa, it's insanity. So when I first saw that was like 3 or 4 days ago, and I saved it. I saved that sound, because you could save the sounds on videos. So I saved that sound. I knew I wanted to use it. Sitting on there. Now, we get into the airport. We get into the this is the city of brotherly love, by the way, from what I understand, from what I've heard. No wonder why I feel a closeness to this place. I feel a closeness to this place. Very artistic here. Incredibly artistic. So, while we come out of the airport, and I took footage of this too, and I blended it from footage from a whole nother Yachtley Crew trip, and I'm going to cobble that together too. There was a Rube Goldberg machine in the airport. And the ball, I mean, there's like five or six of these, like the ball would go and around the thing, swirl down, and then it would go, and it would wait at the bottom of this thing. But then this like almost like a Ferris wheel would go around, and it would go, pick it up, and go to the top, and go, and it would drop it off on this little slide that go, and it would shoot it out of something, it'd bounce off the, and it would land in this bucket. Oh my God, it was great. It was a Rube Goldberg machine. So how about that as a synchronicity? Now I decided to use that soundtrack that had first that I had first saved from that original video, which then led to the Rube Goldberg machine at the airport. So I decided to actually use that music as, the Rube Goldberg music. I felt it was only fitting for this artistic portal, dare I say. A portal. This alleyway. I mean, there's cobblestone streets. It is like artist alley. And it was funny because I was talking about my buddy Alan Panico, who I'm so proud of, in some earlier podcast. I was talking about how proud I am of Alan Panico and how he, would just start drawing, and he would go to these conventions and started doing fan art, and now he's selling his own art, and now he's selling like these prints, and oh man, I'm so proud of the guy. And he would sit in what was called Artist Alley, and it was right there at these comic book conventions, any sort of conventions or whatever. And Artist Alley. So that's what this exactly was. And there were eyeballs all over the place. And mirrors. Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm recalling this, a lot of sculptures with mirrors. Oh my God. I've been talking about rooms of mirrors for the longest time. And I've been doing, of course, still the Bashar Transformative Shifting Cube, which I had not even done yet today. So as I'm saying this out loud, thank you, higher mind. Thank you. Now what's awesome too is that a lot of these things, like, for instance, I just heard Keon tell me that his buddy, the lighting technician, his buddy just made $600,000 on an NFT. And this is something I've been thinking about, is making these Yachtley Crew things into NFTs. So, so that's something I'm looking forward to, seeing what that's all about. I really would love to do that. God, that would be great. Great. Imagine if I could sell one of those NFTs for $600,000. One for, wouldn't that be interesting? An interesting steal. If there'd be a way, I wonder if you could split it up like that, bargain like that. Like, okay, one for $600,000, or all seven, or, these seven are, $800,000. Would that be great? You're like, well, I'll get the $800,000. Wow, I got the gears turning. I've got great vibes this time around with the tour. I got such great vibes with this. I just shot some more footage out in the hallway. I shot this whole thing. I'm cobbling that together too on TikTok. Just so much inspiration just flowing through here. Which, by the way, I'm gonna check in my backpack, see if I brought. Please tell me I brought the kazoo. Oh my God, did I bring it? Please tell me I brought the kazoo. Oh my God, that'd be so great if I did. Oh my God, it'd be so great if I did. Why would I leave a kazoo at home? Out of all things to leave, why would it be that? No, dude, I gotta have the kazoo. The kazoo's gotta be in here. I got the slide whistle. At the very least, I got the slide whistle. And I got blinking glasses. So there. We're gonna have time off in New York. Oh my God, this is great. I'm gonna put on some performance art. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna put on performance art. Oh my gosh. I'll get Paulie out there with his saxophone. We'll go scrounge. Oh my God, wouldn't that be great to go busking? And so I told Kyle, I said, dude, if we could find a pail that you could bang on, and some sticks, and you just play the heck out of that thing, dude. I will play the slide whistle. I don't have the kazoo right now. Why would I not bring that? Oh, dude, you gotta tell me. It's gotta be on. It's gotta be on. Okay, you know what? This is one of those moments. This is one of those lessons in life where you just go. That's so funny. Right when I picked up my jacket, here's this book, Illusions, that I've been reading. And what's so funny is this whole thing, Illusions, it's talking about how, and it's talking about, now I understand this so much more than ever before, simply because I now understand kind of like more of these ideas of that this world is a hologram, that we're these multi-infinite beings, all that razzmatazz, and just that idea of that manifestation of reality. And we always hear that with the quantum field and everything, that it would be possible to walk through a wall. So what makes that possible? Is it belief? See, how do you measure belief? Can you measure belief in the science? Can the scientists measure belief? Can the scientists measure certainly if you can measure, let's say for instance, they measure the state of mind that someone is in when they are intentionally manifesting something, and then they match it up with the state of mind that that person has when they do receive it, and they check out those brainwaves. Now imagine you got those brainwaves. Certainly those can be utilized to be amplified in some way to sort of recreate that. So imagine if you were at a place filled, with high vibrating beings, all intending something, and you play that frequency together at the same time. Can you imagine just how fast that particular intended reality would magnetize itself to you? Just imagine. I mean, that would be astounding. That'd be astounding. Because you can, you can measure frequencies. So, that had just popped in my brain. Because now imagine, okay, playing that and someone intending to walk through a wall. I mean, I guess you'd have to measure the vibration of the wall, maybe, to find out what its frequency is. And then how do you match that up with the intention of manifestation and your own, how do you blend the two? I guess that's the thing. You'd have to figure out how those two would blend. How do they orchestrate? How do they harmonize together? Just like I was thinking earlier today, color theory. I was thinking about color theory. Dennis McGonigal, who is the father-in-law of John Garside, who did Max Neptune and the Menacing Squid, who's also a part of the Forgotten Tales podcast. He contributes the TSA stuff, which I think I'll add one of those in here. Oh my God, it's so funny. Just a very talented guy. His father-in-law is Dennis McGonigal. And Dennis McGonigal is the uncle of Ryan McGonigal. Ryan McGonigal is the guy who did all the Bloody Bobby series, Legend of Fall Creek and Black Pumpkin. So that's how I'm connected with these guys. So Dennis McGonigal, great artist. This is, remember, John Garside of Max Neptune. It's his, father-in-law. I know. Gordian knot, right? So he's a painter of the town of Whittier. And he does murals all over the place, just a great painter. And I remember having a conversation with him one time, and he said, my painting really started accelerating as soon as I started investigating and educating myself on color theory. And so once I did that, my paintings really were altered. They really went from one level to a whole nother level, because I knew now with intention, I knew what I could do. I really, rather than just doing this thing accidentally, I can now do this intentionally. In fact, I was thinking about this with the trading cards. I was thinking, I love the idea. You just feel proud of yourself if you can just kind of do something awesomely accidentally. Like, for instance, the other day I thought, wouldn't it be great to accidentally go the right way? When you're lost, quote, lost, and you don't have your bearings, wouldn't that be nice to accidentally go the right way, the way that you intended and you wanted to go? So having said all of this, the idea of going, blending with reality, blending with the hologram, manifesting reality, law of attraction, all this stuff. I've had this book with me on the plane. I've been reading it, Illusions, The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah by Richard Bach. This is the guy who wrote the Jonathan Living Seagull book, and the exact feather that's on this book, actually, the illusions, this looks like the feather. Jonathan Living Seagull is what inspired Philly Oceans, actually, Phil Daniel. That's his secret identity. That's what inspired his feather tattoo on his arm. And then he's got a tattoo of a bow and arrow, and that is inspired by the Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, where it talks about how our children are the arrow of the parents, the parents are the bow. So it's like, okay, what kind of arrow is being shot out there? What kind of arrow is being catapulted? So we have to become a good example. We've got to, what's the energy that we're giving these guys? So illusions. This book. So in this book, there's a guy who's flying an airplane, and he comes across a guy named Don Shimoda. Now, this is told from the perspective of Richard Bach, the author of this. This is told from his perspective as if this was a true story, and as if he could meet his Messiah, his greatest teacher. And so he combined what he loves, his airplanes, flying, in airplanes, and learning, what could I learn? What could I learn? So it's kind of like, and I've never read the book, Conversations with God. This is that kind of thing, because you realize as you're reading this, it's like, whoa, the multifractal of this. He is talking to, basically, the master, the Messiah, is basically a higher version of himself, so to speak. You start to realize this starts unraveling, and I didn't have the tools necessary, nor the vocabulary, to be able to explain my relation to this book, or things that matched up, things that I had kind of slightly thought about, and yet couldn't wrap my brain around, and were echoed in this. And now I have wrapped my brain around certain concepts and things like that. And now I see those things echoed through here. It's like, that's why those things are very important to keep revisiting. Those books that really mean a lot to us growing up, because there's a good chance there's a whole lot of stuff layered in there. There's something that's beyond, like, what draws us to it. It's not just a shallow, thing. There is something beyond it. There's something deep. So anyway, in this book, he meets this guy, and the guy has, and he's just like, what's going on? He starts learning how to walk on water. He starts learning how to, just kind of look at this world as it's this holographic image. We created this thing before we came here, and this is going to behave the way that I believe it to behave. And so if I believe for it to behave a certain way, it'll behave a certain way. The wall, if I expect the wall to behave like a liquid, it'll act like a liquid. If I expect the liquid to behave like a solid, it'll be like a solid. So I could break off a chunk of it, go, I'm eating water right now. It's solid. And it tastes like chocolate. It tastes like peanut butter. That filled up my belly, and nutritious too. So it's about that idea of the belief. So there's a book that this guy Don Shimoda is reading. It's called the Messiah's Handbook. Now within this book, there is that book, the Messiah's Handbook, and there are little bits and pieces of it. So what I'm going to do now, which leads me up to this whole thing, I had to tell you all that to lead up to this. I'm going to flip through this, okay? Oh, listen to that sweet smell, sweet sound, and sweet smell, and sweet smell. What was that? So, sweet sound, all right. So we're going to zip through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to land on here. I'm trusting it's going to land on a page that has a page from the Messiah's Handbook. If it doesn't, that's fine. Wherever it needs to go, but I'm going to read it, and we're going to explore this together. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, you tell me when to step. Okay, tell me when to step. All right, that's good. That's a good page. Oh my God. Here we are on page 99. The music stopped. Woof, he said. I just looked at him. There is a time and place for everything, right? He said. Well, time and place. Well, a little celestial music is fine in the privacy of your own mind, and maybe on special occasions, but the first thing in the morning, and turned up so loud, what are you doing? What am I doing, Don? I was sound asleep. What do you mean? What am I doing? He shook his head, shrugged his shoulders helplessly, snorted, and went back to his sleeping bag under the wing. The handbook was upside down in the grass where it had fallen. I turned it over carefully and read, "Argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours." There was a lot I didn't understand about messiahs. Whoa. Let's reread that, okay? You gotta be kidding me. I didn't even... Wait. Oh my God, I just realized. The chapter we just read, it ended on page 100. The very next chapter is chapter 8 with a W. And anyone who understands my fascination with you and 8, oh my gosh. So this is a double U. And this is U8U. This is U8U. This is USU. USU. Ubiquitous, serendipitous ubiquity. Oh my gosh. This is a whole theory, a whole thing. My buddy Eric Kleinberg and I, oh my God, of course. Chapter 8. It ended on chapter 8. Well, I might as well read this chapter, the beginning of 8. Here we go, chapter 8. We finished the day in Hammond, Wisconsin, flying a few Monday passengers. Then we walked to town for dinner and started back. Don, I will grant you that this life can be interesting or dull or whatever we choose to make it. But even in my brilliant times, I've never been able to figure out why we're here in the first place. Tell me something about that. We passed the hardware store, closed, and the movie theater, open. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And instead of answering, he stopped, turned back on the sidewalk. You have money, don't you? Lots, what's the matter? Let's see the show, he said. You buy? I don't know, Don, you go ahead. I'll get back to the airplanes. I don't like to leave them too long. What was suddenly so important about a motion picture? The planes are okay. Let's go to the show. It already started, so we come in late. He was already buying his ticket. I followed him into the dark. We sat down near the back of the theater. There might have been 50 people around us in the gloom. I forgot why we came after a while and got caught up in the story, which I've always thought is a classic movie anyway. This would be my third time seeing Sundance. The time in the theater spiraled and stretched the way it does in a good film, and I watched a while for technical reasons. How each scene is designed and fit to the next. Why this scene now and not later on? I tried to look at it that way, but got spun up in the story and forgot. About the part where Butch and Sundance are surrounded by the entire Bolivian army, almost at the end, Shimoda touched my shoulder. I leaned toward him, watching the movie, wishing he could have kept whatever he was going to say till after it was over. Richard? Yeah? Why are you here? It's a good movie, Don. Shh. Butch and Sundance, blood all over them. We're talking about why they ought to go to Australia. Why is it good? He said. It's fun. Shh, I'll tell you later. Snap out of it. Wake up. It's all illusions. I was irked. Donald, there's just a few minutes more. And then can we talk? We can talk all you want, but just let me watch the movie, okay? He whispered intensely, dramatically. Richard, why are you here? Look, I'm here because you asked me to come in here. I turned back and tried to watch the end. You didn't have to come. You could have said no thank you. I like the movie. A man in front turned to look at me for a second. I like the movie, Don. Is there anything wrong with that? Not at all, he said. And he didn't say another word until it was over. And we were walking again past the used tractor lot and out the dark toward the field and the airplanes. It would be raining before long. I thought about his odd behavior in the theater. You do everything for a reason, Don. Sometimes. Why the movie? Why did you all of a sudden want to see Sundance? You asked a question. Yes. Do you have an answer? That is my answer. We went to the movie because you asked the question. The movie was the answer to your question. He was laughing at me. I knew it. What was my question? There's a long, pained silence. Your question, Richard, was that even in your brilliant times, you have never been able to figure out why we are here. I remembered. And the movie was my answer? Yes. Oh, you don't understand, he said. No. That was a good movie, he said. But the world's best movie is still an illusion, is it not? The pictures aren't even moving. They only appear to move, changing light that seems to move across a flat screen set up in the dark? Well, yes. I was beginning to understand. The other people, anywhere who go to see any movie show, why are they there when it is only illusions? Well, it's entertainment, I said. Fun, that's right, one. Could be educational. Good, it is always that. Learning, two. Fantasy, escape. That's fun too, one. Technical reasons to see how a film is made. Learning, two. Escape from boredom? Escape, you said that. Social, to be with friends, I said. Reason for going, but not for seeing the film. That's fun anyway, one. Whatever I came up with fit his two fingers. People see films for fun, or for learning, or for both together. And a movie is like a lifeline, Don, is that right? Yes. Then why would anybody choose a bad lifeline, a horror movie? They not only come to the horror movie for fun, they know it's going to be a horror movie when they walk in, he said. But why? Do you like horror films? No. Do you ever see them? No. But some people spend a lot of money and time to see horror or soap operas, problems that other people have that are dull and boring. He left a question for me to answer. Yes. You don't have to see their films, and they don't have to see yours. That's called freedom. But why would anybody want to be horrified or bored? Because they think they deserve it for horrifying somebody else, or they like the excitement of horrification, or that boring is the way they think films have to be. Can you believe that's lots of people, for reasons that are very sound to them, enjoy believing that they are helpless in their own films? No, you can't. No, I can't, I said. Until you understand that, you will wonder why some people are unhappy. They're unhappy because they have chosen to be unhappy. And Richard, that is all right. We are game-playing, fun-having creatures. We are the otters of the universe. We cannot die. We cannot hurt ourselves any more than illusions on the screen can be hurt. But we can believe we're hurt in whatever agonizing detail we want. We can believe we're victims, killed and killing, shuddered around by good and bad luck. Many lifetimes? I asked. How many movies have you seen? Oh, films about living on this planet, about living on other planets. Anything that's got space and time is all movie, all illusion, he said. But for a while, we can learn a huge amount and have a lot of fun with our illusions, can we not? How far do you take this movie thing, Don? How far do you want? You saw the film tonight partly because I wanted to see it. Lots of people choose lifelines because they enjoy doing things together. The actors in the film tonight, they've played together in other films. Before or after depends on which film you've seen first. Or you can see them all at the same time on different screens. We buy tickets to these films, paying admission by agreeing to believe in the reality of space and the reality of time. Neither one is true, but anyone who doesn't want to pay that price cannot appear on this planet or in any space-time system at all. Are there some people who don't have any lifetimes at all in space-time? Are there some people who never go to movies? I see. They get their learning in different ways? Right you are, he said, pleased with me. Space-time is a fairly primitive school, but a lot of people stay with the illusion even if it is boring, and they don't want the lights turned on early. Who writes these movies, Don? Isn't it strange how much we know if we only ask ourselves instead of somebody else? Who writes these movies, Richard? We do, I said. Who acts? Us. Who's the cameraman, the projectionist, the theater manager, the ticket taker, the distributor, and who watches them all happen? Who is free to walk out in the middle at any time, change the plot, whenever? Who is free to see the film over and over again? Let me guess, I said. Anybody who wants to? Is that freedom enough for you, he said. And why, and is that why movies are so popular, that we instinctively know that they are parallel of our own lifelines? Maybe so, maybe not. Doesn't matter much, does it? What's the projector? Mind, I said. No, imagination. It's our imagination, no matter what you say. What's the film, he asked. Got me. Whatever we give our consent to put into our imagination? Maybe so, Don. Like, ooh, that's good stuff right there. Isn't that funny? That was on on the 8th chapter. Oh my gosh. See, these are the things. I mean, how cool is that? Oh, wow. Well, thank you for listening. I'm getting this episode out fast because it's just, things are moving and grooving. We arrived at this place called Miller's Pub, and I had a veggie bean burger, and it was delicious. And so we were waiting for Admiral T. Taylor Kinney, phenomenal songwriter, singer-songwriter. Everyone who works with this crew here, man, very talented guys, very talented. Oh, I think I heard some of you in the back there asking, what was that book that was called Illusions that I was reading from? Illusions, The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah by Richard Bach, B-A-C-H, Bach and Beethoven and Mozart, Bach and Beethoven, detective agents, eh? So we waited there for Rob, a.k.a. Sailor Hawkins, and Admiral T. We waited for them to come driving in. All the way from... They left early morning on the 24th, the day after our whiskey show, the 23rd. We had our whiskey show. And the whiskey a-go-go. Okay, geez. We are near the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I think I'm going to attach Blythe Baines at the beginning of this episode. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And I think No. Let's go with Micky Dolenz. Micky Dolenz. We'll have Blythe Baines at the beginning, Micky Dolenz at the end. And stick around for this fun fact by Henry D. Horse. And you know what? I might even attach the Facepalm theme song. Thank you so much for listening to Inspirado Projecto. And please, if you enjoy this content, if you vibe with this frequency, feel free to share it with your friends, so we can all learn together. This is a participation podcast. Remember that. You can call the hotline, voicemail 561-203-9179. 561-203-9179, or you can also visit me on anchor.fm/Inspirado Projecto and press that little button there on the voice message and send me a message, and bada boom, bada bang, zippity zappity zoop, zippity zappity zoop. We will be incommunicado. All right, take care.
Yes, I'm calling about my medication. Yes. Will it be ready by Wednesday? Yes? Very good. Okay, well, hey, sir, what are you doing? Don't get fresh with me. Those are my sugar plums you're touching, sir. Hey, it's okay, lady. I'm with the TSA. Yeah, woo, yeah. I can touchy-feely, lady. Yeah. Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Here, let me just whip that out for you. Hey, all right, lady. Way to go. Yeah, party. I'm with the TSA. Yeah.
Here's your fun fact. Dogs are about as smart as a 2 or 3-year-old child. This means they can understand about 150 to 200 words, including signals and hand movements with the same meaning as words. Stay tuned to Inspirado Projecto for more fun facts.
Hi, it's Micky Dolenz here. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
It's a face palm, a balm of calm, like a napalm bomb. It's a face palm, crumbly malm of loamy alms. And how soon do you think you to do it again? It's a face palm, here it come alms, playing Brahms on prom. And how soon do you think you to do it again? Have the Holmes from Guam to the cable comes. Are the Rom diatoms glom in their moms? It's a face palm, the book of psalms and rhymes and rhymes. And how soon do you think you'll do it again?